Spin Cycle Studios.
Hello everybody and welcome to Spin Cycle Studios, the channel where we aim to answer studio related questions without wasting too much of your time. Today we've got an interesting topic that'll help you get extra width in your mixes. You can apply this to anything in your track and get instant width without screwing up the phase relationship and mono compatibility. Alright, so here we are in Logic Pro, and I will basically show you guys what I did to this track. This is a song by the band AXIS ZED. It's called Love Summer Days. It's out everywhere you can stream music now. This is kind of during the building stages of it, and the issue I was kind of having was that the bass just sounded really not small, but just it didn't have that huge factor, right? And so a bass in an EDM song like this needs to have weight, but also needs to be big and needs to fill up the soundscape to make you kind of feel the bounce. In any case, what I basically did here was, if you go into my mixer here, the channel I created, it's an AXIS ZED, has three things on it. It has an EQ so that you can kind of focus everything on the mid-range. We don't want to be affecting the low or super high frequencies here. Second thing is you want a chorus or something that can throw things out super wide and do slight detuning. We have the intensity around 20% and the mix on full because it is on an AXIS ZED. And finally, we want a stereo spreader. I'm using the stock one from Logic Pro. You can use any stereo spreader you want. The point is that whatever you send to this bus now gives that element extra width and space and helps it cut through the mix in a nice way without ruining mono compatibility and without ruining phasing, right, in the low end. So here it is. Here's how the song sounds without me putting anything on this bus. So you can hear, nice little groove, nothing to write home about. The bass specifically, it's nice and thick, it's down there, it's holding it down, but it just doesn't have that wow factor. So let's go back here and let's slowly just increase this the send to this bus and see what happens. Bringing it up. You can see it's already huge and wide. Back to mono, you see it. Make it nice and wide. So as you can see there, we've went from a mono boring sounding bass to something that's big and wide, but at the same time doesn't screw with the phase, doesn't screw up mono compatibility. I can kind of prove this to you by looking at the meter, at the multimeter here that I have open. So if you can see here, we have the multimeter, and here on the correlation area, this is this area that'll show you whether or not something is causing phasing issues and going to cause mono compatibility issues. Here you can see that even though we have the bass, you know, pretty high up into that bus, no issues. Bring it down mono. Doesn't sound as good, but no issues. It's looking good. So yeah, basically use this bus, create yourself an aux bus, put on an EQ, cutting the lows and highs, a chorus to detune the sides a little bit, and a stereo imaging plugin. Send it super wide, and when you send things to it, you can just give anything in your mix a little bit of that extra width. Thanks everyone for watching the video. Hope you learned a quick little tip there on how to get instant width in your mixes. Hopefully it comes across on YouTube as well as it does here in the studio. Hopefully you wear a pair of headphones or something to really feel the effect. But it's a quick little trick that added some depth and dimension to the mix. So there's always that. Please subscribe to the channel, helps me a bunch, and leave me a comment. I always like checking the comments, replying, and getting into arguments, you know, things like that for fun. So thanks for watching Spin Cycle Studios, and see you on the next one.
Spin Cycle.